the CRM built for closers. If you're a real estate agent, entrepreneur, or small business owner looking to automate, follow up, and close more deals and stay top of mind, then Connection is your secret weapon. Go to yourconnection.com and take control of your pipeline today. Now, whether you're tuning in live on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, or X, catching the replay on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, wherever you stream, we're glad you're here. Do me a favor, hit that like button, drop a comment, and share this with a friend, and make sure you're subscribed so you never miss an episode. All right, guys, let's get locked in. We've got a powerhouse show lined up today, and if you're in business or real estate or just building something big, this one is for you. Good morning, everybody. Welcome into the Elite Real Estate Podcast and another fabulous Friday morning. And this is always the exciting stuff when I have an actual in-studio guest. And I've got Bernard Shamow joining me this morning. Welcome in, my friend. How are you?
Good to be here, Jimmy. I'm doing well, thank you.
Oh, man. And we've been trying to get you in here for a minute. And now it's all working out. It's all come together now. It's all come to fruition.
You got a great studio here, man. So good to be here.
Oh, thanks, my man. Thanks, my man, for joining us so early this morning and going to be dropping some knowledge on us. I know that for sure. And just excited. So tell me what's going on with you? What's been happening? And you got the Real Push podcast.
Yep.
Right. So everybody go to the Real Push podcast, like and follow that page. And you're doing some big things on that.
You know, it's fun. We put that together with my partner Dominic and I. Real Push has been awesome. We try to do and be involved in a lot of things real estate. We've had some non-real estate guests on the podcast, which is always cool. So it's kind of taken on a face of its own. But it's heading into February, man. Just been busy.
Is it crazy that it's heading into February already?
I was talking to my wife yesterday, and I literally felt like last week where the ball was dropping, and it's unbelievable how much time flies.
Yeah. It does. Time is fleeting. It is. It's here and gone.
I know, but look, it's the same for everybody, right?
Yeah.
Father Time's undefeated. It just ticks and ticks and ticks. We just got to make sure we maximize that time.
That's right. We all have the same amount.
Exactly.
We all have the same amount every day. We all start with that same amount, put in our book every day. So, but yeah, man. So what people don't realize about you, I don't think people realize this, is what a heavy producer you are. Like, unless they go look up numbers, and unless you live in this world that we live in, because to have a conversation with you and just know who you are, like, you're a great human being. You're a great dude. You have conversation. You're always helping people. You're doing the things that you're supposed to do. But people don't realize you're the #1 producer in the state of Michigan for EXP.
Yeah. It's been a blessing. It's been quite a journey. And I think, to your point, when we start in real estate and we start producing, and a lot of the things that excite us are that instant gratification, getting deals done, and we're always posting on those. So I do try to stay low key on the production. It's because I've been doing it I'm going on my 9th year, but what a blessing to be in that position to help so many people buy or sell real estate, and to get to I think last couple of years been at the top. So they always ask, the question is, can you stay at the top? But it's going to be a little bit more for me after that. There are other things that excite me as well when it comes to real estate.
Yeah. And what are those things?
Well, look, Jimmy, for a long time, you kind of mentioned in the beginning, a lot of the last couple of years as I began to grow, you can't do so much production unless you're partnering with people and having them help you out, and you helping them out, whether it's with new construction and them helping you at certain model homes, whether it's mentoring them or coaching them, whether it's having some agents show your houses for you because the pipeline has gotten big where you want to spread some of that out. But that helps. That certainly helps with getting that production numbers. But it's always nice to see the spear come in and the prospecting pay off, and setting the prospecting from a year ago, 6 months ago, 9 months ago. So it's always nice to see that.
Yeah, for sure. And I know you do. And I think a lot of the audience would be interested to know more about like the new construction piece, right? Like, because you've leveraged into that piece.
No doubt. That's been a big part of my business in the last, I would say, 2 years, particularly. New construction's a beautiful thing. I think when you look at the Michigan market and you look at the country, supply and demand's undefeated. So when it comes to new construction, that.
Yeah.
There isn't enough homes. I don't know a sector where supply and demand, like I was saying, isn't undefeated. So the builders can't build fast enough. And what new construction does is it provides more inventory for the buyers. Okay. As an agent, it helps an agent understand the process of building a house. It makes them more savvy. It makes them more talented. They understand the intricacies. They become more well-rounded, even if they're shown a pre-existing home. And we did a talk about new construction. I've done multiple talks on new construction.
Yeah.
It's something that agents should consider approaching or understanding because it makes them that much more well-rounded. And to your point, it's production, it's volume, it's prospecting. You get to meet people. You're representing the builder. You're representing the community. So it's something nice to incorporate into your overall repertoire of prospecting and that pipeline.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's interesting too that you brought this up. It's funny. I was going through some stuff at my home office the other day, and I found a sign that we had done. And this was probably 5 years ago, and it said if we only had more homes to sell.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is it's been a problem for a while.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, I love that because I can go back, Jimmy, to the last 5 years. You can go through my social media in the last 5 years. So COVID hits in 2020, which would be 6 years ago, right? And anybody that is unbelievably involved in real estate, boots on the ground and doing it at a high level, the message has never changed. There's always been a home shortage.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of us, and I know a lot of what you coach on the pushback is there's a lot of buyers that are like, I'm going to wait until next year. I'm going to wait until next year. I'm going to wait until the market crashes. What's it been, Jimmy? 6 years? I mean, we can go back prior to COVID. The only thing that's happened is if you bought a house in 2020 and 2021 and 2022 and 2023, it's gone up 5, 7, 10%, depending on where you live.
Right.
You know, we get into those pockets of November, December, January, and you have buyers tell you, oh, there's a lot of price drops. Well, it's winter. And some of those listing agents might not have had a conversation with the seller to say, we need to price at a certain point, but the market's going nowhere. You know, there is no market crash coming. There's a lot of equity out there and there's still a home shortage. Interest rates are going to do what we're expecting them to do. They're going to drop a little bit, right?
Yep.
Brings out the buyers. We're already starting to see it even at the end of January. The buyers are calling a little bit more. You're starting to see some homes last a little bit less on the market. That's going nowhere. Our builders can't buy enough land. They need to develop it. It's 2 years out. They know if they build it, it's going to sell.
Yeah.
Which frees up some inventory.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And that rate drop is going to be the interesting piece.
Huge.
Right. Because again, this has been the hard part. I think that's kept us so stagnant for a little while is, you know, these people that got into these 2-3% interest rates, right? They aren't going anywhere for a 7.
No chance. No chance. And to your point, that's the bottleneck factor.
Right.
So if you're a homeowner and you're sub 3%, let's call it free money in today's market. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be hard pressed to trade that in for a 6.5. It was up to 7.7 a year ago. You know? Now it's as low as it's been. The interest rate in the last 3 years, it's projected to go close to 5, maybe 5.25 by Q3, 4. So that might take some of those sellers off the sidelines.
Right.
And by the way, there's the sellers that need to move, that need to relocate, that need to right size. Baby boomers is a huge market. Those guys we call it downsize, we call it right size. So that business is always going to be there. And then you saw the projections. I know you and I were talking about it off camera. We're expecting a 14% increase in home sales this year throughout the United States.
Yeah.
You know, that's a beautiful thing. 4 million homes last year, maybe 4.3, 4.4. That's more inventory. That's more sales.
Right.
Yeah.
I was on a podcast the other day, and we were talking about this, and the guy had an interesting stat. He said over the next 10 years, $7 trillion of real estate is going to change hands because of the baby boomers.
Mm-hmm.
$7 trillion over the next 10 years.
Look, that's an absurd number, you know. Yeah. And let's just go back, okay? 2 years ago, a whole bunch. I always have the benchmarks of COVID because I feel like 2020 hits, right?
Yep.
It's March of 2020. And then the market just explodes. I mean, highest and best, multiple offers. People can't buy fast enough. And you get all these realtors that jump on the mark into the industry in 2021. You get all these loan officers that jump in the industry because the sound bites are going around of how lucrative or profitable the industry can be, which is a false narrative. Unless you're working it right.
Right.
And then you get into 21 and 22. Every realtor you know is putting up record numbers.
Yeah.
Right. 23 comes around. 24 is like, and then what would happen in 24 and 25? We had how many realtors exit the business?
Oh, millions.
Millions.
Yeah.
Millions. And in 25 and millions of loan officers.
Yeah.
Because The good times for a couple of years were there because of what the market did. And then the millions that have left didn't continue what we talk about all the time,
Right.
the prospecting, the nurturing, the phoning. How do they build? They thought it would come, easy. And so you had that mass exodus. And here we are, to your point on the $1 trillion of inventory. That's never going to change. There's
No.
always going to be homes to buy and sell, regardless of the interest rate. I keep going back to the shortage of the houses.
Yeah.
That'll keep us going for a long, long time. And guess what? This isn't a market crash. There is no 2008. There's more equity than we've ever had throughout the history of home ownership in the United States.
Yeah.
It's a good business if you do it right, if you prospect right, it's going to be a good business to potentially for realtors to potentially grow your brand and grow your business and help a lot of people out this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one of the things, and I know you're a true believer in this too, because your business is good.
Sure.
Is the follow up and the nurture of your past clients and your sphere, right? Because there's so much untapped there. Then I see so many agents miss on that follow up piece of, well, I had, let's say I closed 30 transactions last year. Shoot, let's say I closed 15 transactions last year. Well, I should get 15 out of those 15 this year, be just from referral. But if I don't stay in front of them, because it's the worst thing that happens, and it's happened to every one of us, is that past client goes, somebody else sells their house.
Man, not only is it the worst thing, we could always say it happens to almost anybody and everybody, but it's a fantastic point. How do I stay top of mind? Now you're balancing the past clients. You're balancing how do I prospect new business, and so what type of process do you have in place to remind yourself of all that? So to your point, how do I stay in contact with the people that I helped in the past? And what am I doing differently to make sure they know I'm still a realtor, to make sure I still know I'm checking up. And a lot of that is, look, it's simple engagement. It's simple reaching out. It's simple. It's a lot of the stuff that you coach with the prospecting and the systems and the supports and the AI with AI these days.
Oh man.
But a lot of it I like to do organically, whether it's engagement through social media, whether it's the content I put out through social media, all of that is considered prospecting and pipeline.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And I think that's where a lot of agents get it twisted on what prospecting is. Because the original thought on prospecting is, well, I got to call FSBOs and expireds, and I gotta make all these cold calls. That's part of prospecting. That's just that's one way to prospect.
Yep.
Right. And then there's social media prospecting, and then people don't understand that your sphere and your past database and filling that pipeline is prospecting as well.
No doubt. And I'll tell you this too, Jimmy, as a professional realtor, I'm prospecting and interviewing 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, whether it's at the grocery store. I'm never talking real estate, but I'm always representing myself in the right way. I'm engaging. I'm having great conversations. If what I do for a living comes up, it always comes up. I'm putting it on social media. And then everything else is the stuff that you just mentioned. The social media posts, the phoning, the prospecting, the CRMs. Am I attending trainings? How do I improve myself as a real estate agent? It's 24/7. What am I doing to remind people what I do for a living? So it's always ongoing and continuous. No question about it.
Yeah.
You never know who you're talking to. You never know what position they might be in. Do they need to buy? Do they need to sell? Do they know somebody that needs to buy and sell? So it's kind of every facet of your life if you truly want to be someone that prospects all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And look, don't overplay it. Don't overuse it. You don't got to go around, but it's just having good conversations.
Yeah. Well, and I like the way you just worded that. You just said, I never talk real estate, but it always comes up.
It always comes up. I don't need to talk real estate.
Yeah.
If I'm genuinely interested in listening to other people and having a good conversation, at some point it's going to come up what I do for a living.
Yeah.
We could consider that a form of prospecting, couldn't we?
For sure.
All day.
For sure.
All day.
It's always about how many conversations you can have a day.
For sure.
If I can have enough conversations a day and talk to enough people about real estate, again, this is one of the beauties that HGTV has done for our industry, right? People are interested in what's happening with real estate, whether that's buying or selling or investing. And then you got people who are tiptoeing down that, and I'm going to air quote it, the investor idea, because everybody at some point thinks they're an investor.
Yeah.
They're really not.
Yeah. Well, it's a good term. It sounds great.
It sounds great.
It's a powerful term.
What's your portfolio like, right?
Yeah.
People are like, what do you mean?
Sorry, I just got to adjust these. What's interesting about everything that we talk about as it pertains to prospecting. You know, I think you mentioned some of my volume and you mentioned some of my production. I think last year in 25, I finished just north of $40 million, 90 transactions. You know, on Saturdays, I can't remember a single Saturday. I think a couple of them while I was gone, where I didn't prospect, where I didn't phone, where I wasn't up there from 11 to 1. By the way, Saturdays are beautiful prospecting days. Mom's home, kids are home,
Yeah.
dad's home. They're picking up the phone when you call. You know, that's a prospecting of maybe me doing the expireds that day or the for sale by owners that day. I think to me, it's one of the lost arts of real estate business, getting on that phone and dialing and prospecting and having a conversation. Dozens and dozens of agents are doing that. Who's doing it better? Who's articulating better? Who's finding that right script or non-script, as you want to call it? Prospecting on the phones is it? You know, you hate to say it's dying, but it's one of the things that's the most powerful tool that you can use to increase your business.
Yeah, because you can't reach people faster than on the phone.
You can't.
You know what I mean?
No.
Now, I mean, I guess if people want to argue the social media aspect of things, you can probably reach people faster through social media. But are they actually real people? That's one.
Yeah.
Or are they just robots?
Yeah.
But are people paying attention to their social media, or do they just? Most people just post stuff and then drop it, right? But what you have to understand about the social media prospecting is you actually have to then prospect. It has to be DMing. It has to be reaching out. Like you have to work your social media to work your social media.
No doubt. And I would tell you those are two different avenues. You know, the social media plays a little bit longer term.
Yes.
Bernard Shamow, good realtor, great content, good value. I got to make my page exciting. So subliminally or subconsciously, I should say, people would be like, oh, he's a realtor. He's got great information. He's got good value. And then the dialing is instant. You know, the problem with the dialing is when I call 100 people, 90 of them are going to tell me to fly a kite.
Right.
But I don't care.
Right.
I don't care. Out of those 10 that are left, if I can get an appointment with 8 of them and close on 4 of them, I'm happy as can be.
Yeah.
I've won. I'm so victorious, you know, and that's the part that is challenging for a lot of realtors that are lesser experienced. I'm getting told to have a nice day 90% of the time, but it's a numbers game. Everything's a numbers game. The social media, to your point, is that long-term play.
Yeah.
But if someone does DM you, of course, you're going right back in and you're engaging in a great conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like, and again, because the social media thing isn't just I post something and hopefully somebody calls me.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's true too, by the way. New listing, open house, you're going to get some traffic that way. But you're by the way, you're promoting something you already have.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's going to close and you're going to have something. Then you're
exactly.
Then you're going to need something else.
So what can you do to be a little creative, to drive traffic to your page, to let everybody know you're a real estate agent? And I think, Jimmy, you got to throw in some of your personal life. People like to see you out to dinner. People like to see you at an event. You know, you want to keep that page fresh. I know we're gonna, you know,
that's true. But like, because the statistics that I've read and the study that I've done with social media is everybody said it's the 80-20 rule. 80% should be personal, 20% should be real estate.
Yeah.
Because people will associate with you.
You humanize it.
Yes.
You humanize
it's like,
it.
Oh man, Bernard's a good dude. I want to go hang out with him. He can help me buy a house.
Yeah.
Like I resonate with that.
100%.
You know, and so when I get ready to sell my house, you can sell my house. How's that sound?
Well, God knows you've put up some great numbers yourself selling some real estate too.
Yeah. I mean, but again, people resonate with it. People see that, oh, there is a human being there.
100%.
And it's not just closing.
You know, a big piece of what we do, and everything keeps intertwining. To your point about people resonating, it's all about the human connection. It's all about the emotional connection.
Yes.
You know, here we are again. I'm going to talk about the phoning prospecting. You know, when I dial somebody and they go, hello, you know, right off the bat, I'm guarded as opposed to hello.
Yeah.
You know, a little bit more friendlier, a little bit. So that's me understanding my audience. That's me understanding that connection. And I'm just tying it all into prospecting and the social media piece. Humanize it. Be personable. Let people relate to who you are. And you said that 80-20 rule. You know, mix it up. Make it 70-30. Make it 60-40. Whatever's working. I don't want to see houses every day. It's boring.
Right.
I'm going to lose. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's boring.
Right. Right. And then, you know, the assumption is like, are you just showing off now? You know what I mean?
Correct.
And there's a lot of false stuff on social media. I know it sounds crazy that people would put fake information on
Come on,
social
no, there
media.
isn't.
But you got these, but I'm showing this house. Well, it's not my listing. You know what I mean? It's somebody else's listing.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
fine. It's okay. I've always been a big proponent of, if you want to put my listing on your page, feel free, because it's just going to bring a bigger audience to my listing.
I've never said no to a request for somebody to go to one of my properties
Yeah.
and do a video and shoot a house, or take a picture, or brand it under their social media page. But here's what I want to tell you for some of the realtors that are just into the business. Perception is reality until it becomes reality. And so let me tell you what I mean by that. When I first got in the business, I post houses, and I would do a lot of what we see, the videos during a tour, the open houses, the inspections. And I would spread that content out, where every time I'd run into somebody, they'd be like, "You're killing it. You're killing it." I wasn't killing it. I wasn't killing it. The perception was I was out there and I was producing, and my content was nicely spread out. And that's not a bad thing. But to your point, it does get boring. So understand I don't want to call it algorithm, but understand how you spread your content out. And, who cares? Post somebody else's listing, give them credit for it. Post somebody else's house. Go host somebody else's open house. Nobody cares if it's yours or somebody else's.
Yeah.
But it shows you out there. It shows you involved. It shows you doing what you love to do. It's promoting your business, But then learn to transition it into some other things that might be attention grabbing.
Yeah. And again, the hosting an open house, another form of prospecting. Right?
Correct.
Because now I'm looking for more buyers that aren't represented, that are strolling on through that. And sometimes you just got nosy neighbors, yes, but not in this type of weather, right? This type of weather, it's a buyer. It's somebody that's trying to buy something. It's not, you don't have tire kickers out in this stuff. We were talking when he pulled up this morning, it was -2.
-2.
Yeah.
-2. What a beautiful prospecting tool to host an open house.
Oh man.
I couldn't host enough of them. And a lot of what I've done the last couple of years is what we talked about earlier. I'll have a lot of the EXP partners. Hey, who wants to host the open house? Throw it in that chat, and you get a lot of side texts.
Yeah.
Because those are the ones that want to promote their business and grow their business and meet new buyers, and obviously try to sell the house, but more importantly, work their pipeline.
Yeah.
Open house is a beautiful, beautiful thing, man.
Yeah. And let's just be honest. You're just sitting there for a couple hours on a Saturday and a Sunday.
100%.
Like, what else are you doing?
No, you're trying to get some. You're trying to build your pipeline.
Yeah. And this, especially for newer agents who are trying to build a business, right? Because we know that's the hardest thing to do when you're first in this business, is how do I actually build this thing and get enough clients? And that's just another added tool that people miss out on so much.
Without question. And even as a newer agent, I know I keep talking about newer agents. I think you and we have this crazy passion just to help the newer agents.
And so many people I talk to are like, "What are you doing?" And you get the same.
Well, you're genuine about it. You want them to learn. You want to grow their brand. You want to grow their business.
It just makes our industry better.
Yeah. And listen, there is an art to everything. There's an art to hosting an open house. And if you call a tenured agent who's hosting an open house and want to go to their open house, maybe a team member, maybe somebody from your brokerage, understand how they host that open house. If it's a great property, even if it isn't, you're going to have all your MLSs, you're going to have your food and beverage, you're going to have it extremely inviting, but understand how to communicate to the people that walk in. How you doing? Obviously, let them know about the house, engage in conversation. How long have you been looking? What's your criteria look like? And then that'll open up the conversation for you to potentially have a buyer after you throw out that value and earn their trust. There's an art to everything.
Man.
Yeah. And if you feel like you're not that good at that art, follow somebody that's doing it and pick up some of their ideas. Yeah.
And for the most part, I found that most agents, and we're pretty spoiled here at EXP, but most agents are open to just go hold my own house, or here's how I did this, right? Most people are just sharing how they built their business, and everybody's business has been built differently. But most people I run into, again, especially with us, it's everybody's been pretty open with here's how I did it, and sharing their blueprint of their business.
Man, you could drop the mic right now. That is so spot on, Jimmy, especially with our wonderful brokerage EXP, man.
Oh.
If you look at all the way from the cloud-based structure of what EXP does, the tools, the resources, look how this thing cascades down to the leadership team, to the regional team, to the brokerage team in the state, to the agents in the state. All that experience speaks for itself. And every single one of those people and those platforms are willing to tell you everything they know.
Yeah.
They want you to grow. They want to help you out. Whether it's agent attraction or more importantly, whether it's building your business, you're absolutely right, man. We're in the same chat with EXP. And when we post those open houses, for myself, obviously everybody's ready in line. But even deeper than that, those have been there are more than happy to share their journey and what they did to be successful.
Yeah.
It's an awesome thing. And they should take advantage of that.
They should.
Yeah.
They should. And if you're not, you're missing out.
You're
right?
missing out.
And even when it comes to like, hey, I need a plumber in Dearborn.
You nailed it.
Like all these messages start coming through.
It.
I need a basement restoration guy downriver. Boom, 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 boom. Like all these things start coming through.
They're proud to promote their preferred vendor.
Yeah.
They're proud to promote their preferred vendor. You're spot on.
Yeah.
You ever need a preferred vendor? Just
put it in
that chat.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I like sometimes it'll say, I need a plumber. And then somebody will come back and say, where?
Yeah.
And then all these things come through.
And you know the reality as well as I do. Like we all have preferred vendors. Sometimes they're out of town.
Yeah.
Sometimes they have too much on their plate.
Yeah. Sometimes they're busy.
You need a second option. You need a third option.
Yeah. Yeah.
But text in the chat.
Oh man, that chat. If you're not in that chat, hit me up and we'll get you in there.
Yeah.
For sure. Man, that thing is gold. And again, but same thing. Hey, I've got a client looking for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath in Clinton Township, up to 350. Anybody have anything? And it just
it's a beautiful thing because it's exactly what you just said. You know what it is? It's two things. It's an information chat for our EXP chat that has all things EXP. This is the two things I want to tell you. It's a little bit of being proud of, hey, I got a new listing.
Yeah.
I want to promote it to you guys so you know. And it's, hey, here is what I'm looking for. Who can help me? And then it's everything. And
yeah.
It's a preferred vendor list.
Right.
It's a resource to get anything and all things real estate, but it's a nice collaborative chat. And it genuinely shows the agents that want to help each other out.
Yeah.
Everybody from the top is responding in that chat.
Yeah.
You put out some great stuff too, my man.
Yeah. I try. Hopefully it's helpful. Hopefully it's helpful. But man, we've got the EXP regional rally coming up in March 19th, which is going to be at UWM this year. Kim Adjemi and I are hosting.
Excited for you guys.
But you, my man, are going to be on stage.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're going to be one of our main speakers.
Super excited, man. Super excited. I think I was telling you off camera, real estate's been literally my life. It's something I take so serious, and equally as serious and impactful for me is get an opportunity to speak.
Yeah.
Get an opportunity to promote such an amazing brokerage. The tools, the resources, the people, the opportunity, and everything EXP's done to support us as agents, and more importantly, I get to go up there. You guys are going to be up there, surrounded by some amazing individuals. We got a great lineup for EXPCon. So many people that have been doing so many things. I just saw the list go on and on. So if you're an agent that just started, if you're an agent that's got 10, 15 years experience, it's going to be the place. There's going to be so much information. There's going to be a lot of stories and a lot of journey sharing of how some systems and processes work, what EXP does to support you and help you grow. There's going to be panelists. I would encourage anybody from EXP to be there, and I would absolutely encourage anybody from other brokerages. And Jimmy, it's a perfect time of year to do it.
Yeah.
You know what happens in November, December, January? Everybody's like, okay, how was my year?
Yeah.
How is my brokerage? Am I getting the systems and supports that I need? Am I really growing through this brand? So there's that brokerage shopping.
Yeah.
And to me, March is always but by March, you need to be ready to rock and roll by the end of March. You know what I mean? So it's going to be a great, platform. It's going to be a great event. There's going to be an unbelievable amount of information. You get to hear from some super producing powerhouses. You get to hear from some phenomenal teams, and you get to hear about what the brokerage has done and some of the stuff that's coming up. I know there's some exciting news going to be shared there as well.
Yeah. There's all that's one of the bonuses about the regional rallies is the corporate comes in, and then they may have some big announcements.
They do.
We're lucky enough this year. We're the kickoff, so we're the first regional rally in the country. So the announcements will start triggering out after ours, but we get the original ones.
And,
So
and that's a great point, because I've been talking to, I got some friends in Indiana, I got some friends in Ohio with EXP, and they've shot me a text message. They're excited to come down
Yeah.
and see some of the speakers. So that's a phenomenal point too, because we're going to create that momentum as the year goes on, and I think a lot of what we're going to do here in the Midwest and in Michigan, it's really going to set the tone for what EXP is doing and what they're going to launch, and there's just going to be so much information, man.
Yeah. So much. And
I know you're excited.
I'm so excited. We typically have a really strong lineup. It's very impressive, the group that we have, inside of our ecosystem here, right? What Curtis has done, and has brought in, like
100%.
the people just in that ecosystem, right? But so Gogo Beth, he's going to be here.
Yep.
Austin Chevron out of Indiana is going to be here.
Yep.
So we've got and yourself. Then we've got some panelists coming up. We've got some different things we're announcing as they're trickling out. But again, just that lineup with you, Austin, Gogo, and then the panels are we're going to talk about the new sports and entertainment industry, the land and ranch that EXP has launched, right? The luxury brand, that's all going to be part of a panel. The other panel is going to be talking about team versus individual versus team, like which one's better. So we've got some great people on those panels. I mean, it's going to be a ton of information in one day.
So what I'm hearing you say is this, Jimmy. If I'm an agent and I really want to grow my business and brand, and I want to focus on social media, or I want to listen to a coach that's built one of the most successful teams, or I want to listen to an agent that has been through the grind of doing $40 million a year, and 100 transactions, who's lived it, who can't teach it unless they've been there. I can't take anybody to somewhere I haven't been. Do I want to listen to some of the top teams in the state? Do I want to hear some of the ideas that are coming up? That's the place to be, is what I'm hearing you say.
That is the place to be.
Yeah.
March 19th.
Yeah. Pretty much whatever you can ask for to start as an agent or continue to be successful as an agent and to grow your business.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. What a beautiful event that's going to be.
Yeah, it's going to be great. And obviously, at UWM, it's the venue out there is so fantastic. We've been blessed enough to do enough. I was just this podcast I was on, the guys out of Massachusetts, but I said we've become the mortgage capital of the world too. Not only are we the motor city, we're the mortgage city.
We're the mortgage city. We got the top two in the country.
Yeah,
man. We got the top two in the country, and a lot of successful mortgage shops.
Oh man,
all around the Tri-County area.
Yeah.
We have become the mortgage city.
Yeah, we're mortgage city. That's what the Pistons are going to start to be. Not motor city, it's mortgage city.
That's a good point. Yeah, that's very good.
We need to work on some rebranding for the local teams here.
Yeah, but to that point, if you are an agent and you have a preferred lender, and you have a great relationship with them, what do you tell your buyer? Listen, I got a preferred lender. Go find somebody that you like, compare notes on the rates, get you the best rate.
Yeah.
Keep them honest. It gives you some options to kind of get the best rate out there and put you in a better position with all the available options. And a lot of them are great, man.
Yeah. For sure. And again, if it doesn't work, we can either drive to Pontiac or drive to Detroit, and we can actually talk to the people who are financing it anyway.
UWM, Rocket Mortgage.
Yeah, we can go figure out who's financing it anyway.
Can't beat it. But yeah, I'm excited about EXP.
Yeah. Are you gonna tell us a little bit about what you're talking about, or are you keeping that up your sleeve?
No. I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about the survival of what it takes. I just kind of mentioned it. I said, I can't teach you something if I haven't been there. I can only share my experience on what I've done. And, when I was asked to speak, I thought about what would be the most impactful. And all the time I hear, well, I can't wait to do this. I can't wait to prospect. I can't wait to phone. And it's never done, So some of the sacrifice that's required, some of the commitment that's required, some of the best practices that's required, kind of going through that journey of how you go from 0 to 40 million, 100 transactions in a year.
Yeah.
And it doesn't even have to be that. If your business is at 3 million, how does it get to 7? How does it get to 10? How does it get to 15? How does it get to 20? The grind. And I know grind is so cliche, but you've lived it. I certainly lived it. It's not just saying it, it's doing it. The time, the sacrifice, the commitment. So I'm gonna kind of tell a story on what that takes. I've lived it. I can speak about it.
Yeah.
I know what it takes. It's a lot, man.
And what a lot of people don't understand is it can be miserable.
Extremely.
You know what I mean? And how do you do that and
Call
not
my
be
wife. Should we
miserable?
get my wife on the phone?
Did she call in? Did she call in this morning? Well, yeah, I mean, you could be miserable doing it, you know, and that's not a way to live either. You know, it's not, that's not a way to live either. It sounds great.
Well, you know, I think you have to balance the healthy obsession.
Yeah.
If we want to call it, if you, that's spinning it from miserable. It's, but the gratification that comes with that, if we do want to call it miserable, and the sacrifice that comes with that is the smiles, the people you're helping, the pride of ownership that they want. And yeah, sure, it comes with a paycheck, no doubt about it. But you start to see the results, and you get so dialed in, and you understand what works, and you understand the sacrifice that's committed. And I think a lot of times, Jimmy, it's so tough to get the momentum going. We always want that instant gratification and that quick deal, that feels good. It comes with a paycheck. And it's tough to deal with the 60, 90, 120, 6 months out pipeline that we got to wait for. And how do you keep getting that paycheck? And so it's planting the seeds, another cliche, but it's true.
Yeah.
So is it a healthy obsession, and does it make you miserable at times? Sure. But when you start seeing the results, you become even more obsessed with what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the results are getting people into the best position, whether it's buying or selling.
100%.
Yeah.
And what we have to remember in this industry is the day you plant the seed is not the day you eat the fruit.
No doubt. No doubt.
We'd like to think it that way.
No doubt. You just got to make sure you're planting the seeds in the right soil.
Yeah.
The right soil is something you talk about. The right systems, the right support, the right tools, the right CRMs. You're the seed planter. The soil is some of those platforms that we have.
Right.
And then who knows what the harvest entails.
Yeah.
That's on you to create that harvest.
Yeah.
You plant enough seeds in the right soil.
Yep. And again, like, you and I, we could probably like cliche the hell out of this show, right? Like, oh man, but it's good stuff. And but yeah, so the regional rally's coming up, and then you've got some other things in the hopper.
I do.
Yeah, you got some other things in the hopper.
I got some other things in the man, you got that. I do. I got some other things in the hopper. Coming up here in the next couple of weeks. We'll be happy to finally get to that next level. It's, to me, it's always been about. Even as a newer realtor, how do I help somebody else grow?
Yeah.
How do I pay it forward? There was a lot of people in my life early on that were great mentors and still are great mentors, and helped me develop and taught me how to do things. And I think there's a little bit of that coming up around the corner as well.
Yeah. I figured you're up to something.
Well, listen, how long you can only spend so much time working in the business until you start working on it. And working on it is being impactful to other agents and helping them grow their business. So there's some good stuff coming out.
Yeah.
Thanks for asking.
Yeah, you're hiding that inside your jacket pocket there. I thought I could maybe extract something out today.
Soon enough.
We'll get you back on in a couple weeks.
Oh, man, it's always great to talk to you, Jimmy, whether it's on the phone or offsite. It's always good to catch up. Because, a lot of what you're doing with your podcasts and a lot of the tools. Listen, you're probably one of the most involved people. We talked about the EXP chat. You're always putting in content out there that is a helpful tool for a newer agent, or, hey, maybe you should try doing it this way, or here's a great CRM that I've been using, or here's what I'm doing a little bit differently. And people know Jimmy, and people want to listen, and people are always open to changing up things or looking at new tools and resources. So that's nice to see too, man. It's pretty awesome.
Well, thanks, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Again, it always goes back to like, how can I give back, right? It's always been this coaching thing inside of me, right? Like I've coached basketball for 20 some years, and we have mutual friends that are that I coached, right?
You sure do. You coached, yeah.
Yeah. Who now I'm assisting, which is
you're
funny.
Coaching now at De La Salle?
Yeah. So I'm back to coaching De La Salle now, and actually Sal, our friend, he's the JV coach, and I'm his assistant now.
Yeah.
So I coached him in high school. Now we've come full circle where I'm his assistant now.
That's actually pretty sweet.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty sweet.
He still thinks he can try to tell me what to do. That's not working out.
No, I'll have a word with him also.
Yeah, he thinks he can tell me what to do. I'm like, this,
Yeah, but you want to talk about, I don't know if there's anything bigger than giving back, in coaching. That's just, you were born to do that, man. You love to do that, even at the basketball level, obviously in your professional career.
Yeah.
So it's always been in your blood.
Yeah. And it's fun. Again, I had this conversation with Johnny Kitchens too, right? And we talked about, if I can learn something, and I know this is in your heart too. if I can learn something, like I found this new thing out, right? Let's say it's new construction, and I found this new way how to get into new construction and sell it. Great. Now, how can I teach somebody else how to do that? You know what I mean? Like you can give back, and that's how I know that's in your heart too.
It's always been in my heart, not just in real estate, man. I don't know if you get to know me personally, man. I'm a pretty generous guy.
Oh yeah,
you know, I want to make sure everybody around me is having a great time.
Yeah,
has what they want, has what they need, and so that's certainly transitioned into my professional career in real estate. And you know, Jimmy, you do it because it's who you are, it's who I am, it's the way I've been raised, and it's crazy though. But it just, you know, the law of reciprocity is crazy, man.
it is.
Whether that's people that have been there and done that well before me and have grown something much bigger than me, they find a way to give it back also, you know?
Yeah.
So it's going full circle, man.
100%, man. 100%. And so what's on tap for the Real Push podcast? What's that going to look like in 2026?
Man, great question. You know, when Dominic and I started the Real Push podcast, you know, we've had some good guests on there. Chris Voss, former FBI negotiator. We had Darren McCarty. We had some prominent entrepreneurs, and a lot of what we were doing it at Real Producers events.
Mhm.
So we'd set up Real Push podcast. We'd have a platform. Toast at the Top would be something that would happen annually, which would just happen. It recognizes the top 100, 300, 500, and top 1,000 agents in each county. So it took on a life of its own. It was such a nice platform to interview agents, to ask them about the market, to ask them about their business. And we would give them the content kind of like you've done in the past. And they would be able to promote themselves on their platform. It's great conversation. It's become a lot of things real estate. So we're going to be at Real Producers events. We're going to be at events that are powerful and impactful as it pertains to real estate. And we're still going to have a great mix of some special guests we got coming up that have been impactful, some sports guys coming up, some entrepreneurs as well. So, you know, it's two-dimensional. With the real estate piece and some of the sports athletes and entrepreneurs and local successful business people, but it's been great, man. It's taken on a lot of momentum, so it's a beautiful thing to see.
Yeah, it's pretty wild, isn't it? Like doing this show too, like how it starts to kind of create a life of its own a little bit, where it's like, and then so many people that I've had conversations with and about coming on, and you're like, well, I enjoy doing this.
You love doing.
You know what I mean? It's fun.
Great in here, by the way.
And
thank you. You got the right setup for it.
Yeah.
No question about
it. It's fun, and it's like I said, if I made enough money doing this, I wouldn't have to worry about anything else, right?
Well, listen, who knows? Who knows, right? You do enough of these, you put out, you have the right guests, you put out the right content. There's value add in it. It's attention grabbing. Who knows where you go from here?
Right. And the fun thing is, and I know you enjoy it with the Real Push too, is just giving people a platform.
100%.
You know what I mean? Like that they normally wouldn't have. And being able to have these conversations. And it's funny, you see, I don't have any notes or anything here. And so many times people are like, you don't have any notes. Tara from Real Producers, she's been on a couple times, and she comes in, she's got notes, she's got questions, she's like laid out there, and she's like, you don't do any of this? I go, no, I don't ever do that.
Tara's awesome. She's amazing. You know what I wanted to mention, Jimmy, you said it earlier. A lot of the agents I've interviewed and Dominic has interviewed, a couple of weeks down the road would be like, hey, I had no idea you did so much business, because the podcast we host, we talk real estate. I don't need to,
Sure.
So it's pretty cool because it takes on a dynamic, because it's the podcast. When we first started it, I think same thing for you. It's something subconsciously that somebody might be like, oh, Real Push. These guys are pretty cool. They're pretty valuable. They interview great agents. And they have their own real estate business,
right?
Right. And by the way, that wouldn't be realtors; that would be potential buyers and sellers who listen to the podcast as well,
right?
So it's pretty sweet to do that.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's funny, and you're right. So many agents don't realize that we do real estate still. People ask me all the time, like it comes to the coaching agents, right? Like coaching and training agents. It's I still do real estate,
of course.
I was just out showing houses last night. I had my boots in the truck, because we had to walk around the house. Nothing had been shoveled. So I have boots on.
Hopefully you had your hat and gloves on too.
Oh yeah, it was cold out there.
Yeah. Look, if we're talking real estate, obviously we got to have boots on the ground. No pun intended. You need to know it. You need to know it. You need to know what the market is. You need to know the climate of the market. We go up and down with when it gets hot, when it cools down. So you need to know, what's selling quickly. So of course we know real estate, but it's just nice to have that conversation on the podcast.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, because again, then it's I know how it is to negotiate in today's climate.
Of course.
I mean, I know what it's like to make that phone call and tell your client they didn't get the offer accepted. Like, all those things happen. So if you don't know that, then how are you teaching it, right? How are you talking about it, right?
Exactly.
And so it's a little bit different. People ask me, well, you don't play basketball, but you still coach basketball. I'm like, yeah, but it's different things, right? Like I'm not playing in a sense, but I can watch it where I can't go watch real estate.
No,
You know what I mean? Like,
no,
I can't
no.
watch you work a transaction and then figure out how a better way to make that transaction work.
Well, your basketball point, you've been around the game so long.
Yeah.
The intricacies, the details, the dynamics, what players are better in position. That comes naturally for you. You can coach that, and you can coach that at a high level. The real estate piece, to your point, if you're not in the market, if you're not out there every day, if you're not seeing how long the inventory is lasting, if you don't have your finger on the pulse and are communicating with your clients, you can't talk about it. You can't coach it. You need to know that stuff. It's kind of the most important,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, it changes, and I can't go watch you negotiate with another person and try to help decipher that. I can give you the scripts and everything else that you should say. But again, once I go now I'm negotiating and I'm doing it. Now I know what's happening live in the market. You know what I mean?
100%.
Like, now I know what's happening live in the market. So that makes a big change.
100%. And I said something in the beginning of the podcast. I said, if you look at my social media the last 5 years, my message has never changed. You know the market. If you know the market, you can talk about the market. You can educate it.
Yeah.
Hey guys, a lot more inventory coming up as we head into March. 10 times more buyers because the school shoppers are out. Hey guys, if you want a good value, we're heading into November, December, limited inventory, but you can get something at or under market value. I mean, that cycle has not changed.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not in the last 5-6 years, nor is it going to.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you what, Jimmy, coming up here in March, April, May, June, July, August, the houses that look good and are priced right, it's a 72-hour list.
Maximum.
The Thursday list, the Sunday highest and best.
Yeah.
3, 5, 7, 10% above ask, no appraisal. That's the market we're heading into.
Yeah.
And interest rates continue to drop. Something we started the conversation with.
Yeah. Where do you see rates? Let's say by July. Where do you see rates by July?
So if you pay attention a little bit in the news, they have this massive push to get them to 5, just under 5. We're never going to see 3 or 4 again. I mean, 5.5, 5.75 would be a beautiful thing. We were at 7.25 2 years ago.
Yeah.
That's a rate that's going to get a lot of those not a lot, but a handful of those sellers off the sidelines. That's going to free up inventory, So based on what I'm reading, based on what a lot of the experts are saying, they're saying 5.5. They're saying 5.25 by Q4 this year. So
yeah.
If you hear something different, tell me.
No, that's kind of where I was at. I was thinking at the same boat. I was thinking if we were at 5.5, by July. I mean, I think our inventory. I think we would just be moving
all day, and it just takes me back to a place where I was having conversations 6 months ago, where he's like, "Hey, we got a great 6.25 rate. It's down from 6.75." People get excited about that.
Yeah. Yeah. And
it's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money.
Yeah.
Right. It is a lot of money. And it makes a big difference when it makes it just more affordable for somebody. Right. And again, like I've got a client working right now, and it's limited budget. Right. So it's just so she's almost kind of waiting a little bit. Like, if I could get this down a little bit more, I can afford.
I know.
It's like, and so some people are playing that tight margin game.
It's a matter of them buying or not buying.
Yeah.
And I think as realtors, it's our responsibility to financially educate them. What good is a house if what good is your dream home if you have to live paycheck to paycheck? You got to be financially responsible.
Yeah. It doesn't make any sense.
So if you need to wait.
Yeah.
But have that plan of what you're going to do when the time is right and that interest rate hits where it needs to be.
Yeah. Yeah. Because again, I would not, I don't, and I know you feel the same. I wouldn't want to put a client make them house poor.
No chance.
Where it's like, oh, I can't even go out. Oh, I can't go get McDonald's today.
Jimmy, that happens a lot in our business.
It does.
We got that 400 buyer, and then they start sending you the 425 houses, and then in 30 days they're sending you the 500K houses. They get tunnel vision.
Yeah.
Listen, a 500K house is a world of a difference than a 400K house. It's probably bigger. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you're like, hey, does 500 make? Sometimes we don't know that. We don't understand to have those conversations.
Yeah.
Hey, we started at 4, we're at 5. Is this going to make financial sense for you?
Right. And because what we have to understand too, and this is for the local, just like the clientele, right? That don't or the basic consumer, is because you get approved for it doesn't mean you want that payment.
Correct.
You technically could afford it.
Yeah.
Right. They're not going to give you too much money so that you can't afford it. You technically could afford it, but that means you can't go out anymore.
No, that's a great point.
You know what I mean? Like that means you can't go on vacation anymore. That means you're just working to pay off that house.
That's a great point. And that ties into that responsibility piece for us having that conversation. Right?
So
obviously you're hoping the loan officer has that conversation with them too.
We're hoping.
Hey, we're the mortgage city.
We know a few loan officers.
Just a couple.
But no, it's like that's where people's budget comes in. You know, what's your budget look like? What do you want to spend per month? Now we can actually have this conversation. And then I don't know if you've noticed this, but I've noticed this is a huge problem. The uncapping of the taxes.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's insane right now.
Yeah. And there's actually some good content on social. But that's a phenomenal point. You know, that's all part of that qualifying process.
Yeah.
That loan officer needs to tell them what the taxes look like and how they're going to change. The realtor should tell them as well. You know, homestead, non-homestead, the uncapping of the taxes. This is what the millage rate looks like. The taxes that they paid are this. Your taxes are going to look like this.
Yeah.
Let's factor that into the rate as well, into the mortgage as well.
Yeah. Literally, I just had one that was
the biggest weapon we got is education. All we can do is educate our clients with the right education, with the right tools, with the right comments, with all the facts. We can educate them with the facts.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I mean, you have taxes that are uncapping, and again, I've been in my house for 26 years. Whoever buys my house is screwed.
26.
Yeah. They're messed up because that's going to uncap. And all of a sudden it's gonna be like, whoa, like because what we bought our house for and what it's worth now,
100%,
26 years later is way different,
much different.
And then, but those taxes have stayed down, right? Yeah, because we didn't move. And so, and this is what I'm seeing in the industry. Like I sold a house this summer, and the house, the taxes literally almost tripled because the guy was in the house for 50 years. He was the original owner, and when he passed away, and we sold it for the family. But the taxes almost tripled.
Yeah.
To $10,000, almost $11,000 a year.
It's crazy. You know where my head went when you said that, because it's so true. You know, when people tell you in your prospecting, oh, I have a realtor, and you know, a reply is something along the lines of, so you've had the conversation, you've done your mortgage, you've talked about the uncapped taxes, you talked about the, you know, you got, it's like, it's a good pivot piece to include into your repertoire.
Oh, for sure.
Because now you're like, oh, my realtor didn't tell me that.
Yeah.
My realtor didn't.
You could almost hear their face change.
Exactly. You know, that's kind of where I went when you said that, because I'm thinking of now you're pivoting it to that.
Yeah.
Makes sense, right?
Yeah, totally.
But it's such a great point.
Yeah.
It's such a great point, Jimmy.
Yeah. And that's one thing. I always had a good thing with investors, right? I loved calling investors the absentee owners, because there's no emotion tied to it.
Zero.
The house is either making money or it's not, and I needed to sell it or buy it. That's it. There's no Johnny grew up in this house. There's none of that.
That's a big one, man.
You know what I mean? And so those guys are always great to work with. But you have to also know how to talk to them.
Correct.
What's your ROI?
Yeah.
What's your ARV?
Yeah.
Right. When you start throwing out these acronyms and you know what you're talking about, it changes the game. And now the investors are like, oh, this realtor knows what he's talking about.
Listen, instant credibility. You know, instant credibility. This guy's smart. He's sharp. He's got value add. He knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and do that, Jimmy.
Yeah. Let's talk about this a little bit deeper, right?
Yeah. Beautiful point, by the way. No emotion. That's one of the biggest pieces with the sellers, man.
Yeah.
15, 20 years in that house. Johnny grew up in there. So many memories.
Yeah.
It's a tough one.
It's tough.
I did it with my mom 3 years ago. We moved her to a condo 3 years ago. Yeah. And just, she got this beautiful condo, and she was miserable for the first year because all her babies grew up in that house.
Right.
We see it all the time.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. That's hard.
Yeah. Mom wasn't miserable, but you know what I mean? She was sad about it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And it's funny. It's growing up, I lived in like 7 different houses. We moved a lot when I was growing up. So it's funny. This is the house that when I got married and we moved into this house, this is the house I've been in for
26 years.
26 years.
26 years.
Yeah. So like that, where growing up, we moved a bunch of different places, but no, it's funny how you get settled in one spot. I'm like, I'm good.
I know. Yeah. You made up for all the moving up
I
in
did.
the last 26
I
years.
did. I just I'm good staying where I was at.
That's great. That's great.
Oh man. We got about 5 minutes left. So 2026, what are your goals for 2026?
You know, a lot of what we talked about. How am I going to be able to help other agents? How am I still going to be able to do my own production? Balance that out. How am I going to help their brand grow, their business grow? Because obviously that helps the entire that helps the entire call it ecosystem, if you will, of what we do in real estate. It's been a lot of that. I think that's been the theme in our conversation today, Jimmy, about giving back, about helping agents grow, about growing their business. Look, I'm focused. I got a beautiful spear. I'm still going to prospect. I'm going to teach agents and coach agents on how to prospect. We'll talk about what that looks like here in a couple of weeks coming up. But that is the main focus. And listen, to do something like that requires some sacrifice as well.
Yeah.
It's not going to allow me to go out and produce that same amount of number that I produced last year, that same volume, but I'm still going to be doing what I do, from a real estate standpoint. But watching others grow, watching others build their business, watching others understand how to do things the right way, a little bit of sacrifice, prospecting, coaching. That's the plan for 2026 and beyond, man. It's a great thing.
I love it.
Yeah. There's some great teams out there doing that right now, man.
Yeah.
There's some great teams with EXP doing that out right now, man. They do a phenomenal job. And I think EXP gives us the platform, if we did want to be a team lead, if we did want to do that, to succeed. To succeed, they got the right people in place. They want to make sure they have the right people in place, because ultimately, the more agents we can coach and train, it's a beautiful thing, because they'll talk about what a beautiful broker GXP is, and how much it's been, how impactful it's been for them. And guess what that does? That brings agents to our brokerage. That gives us more of an imprint on the real estate market, and it's nice to see us continue to win.
Yeah, 100%, man, 100%. So where can everybody find you?
Social media, Bernard Shamow Real Estate on Instagram. Same thing with Facebook. Those are the top 2 platforms for me.
Yeah.
And
you're not on TikTok yet? Come on, man. We got to get you on TikTok, bro.
I'm gonna start doing that. Hey, TikTok is amazing.
It is.
Everything I hear, everything I see, some of the results I see on TikTok, it's a beautiful thing. TikTok is going to be part of 2020.
Yeah. I'll help you out with it.
Yeah.
It's funny. My son was telling my 14-year-old, he was like, Dad, he's like, this was about a year ago. He's like, it's kind of weird. I'm like, what? He goes, my friends are watching your TikTok videos.
Yeah.
I said, what, do their parents want to buy a house? Let's just go straight to the parents here. Like, are their parents wanting to buy a house, right?
100%.
I'm gonna have to wait 10 years for these guys to buy a house.
You got great sons too, man. God bless them.
Oh man, I got good boys, man. They're a lot of fun. They're a lot of fun. We got one thing that came here. Dave said, good morning, gentlemen. Property taxes got even more complicated on new construction if the lender does not properly set up, but there's a great opportunity to save the client the first year.
Yeah. And so listen, a lot of tell Dave, thank you for the question.
Yeah.
It's such a creative question, and there's some, it unfolds like this. When you do new construction and you purchase a home, I can give you an example of 19 and Ryan, our Spring Meadows communities. We're in Shelby Township. We're in Utica. Taxes are $1,000 to $1,200 a month. That's high. That's $16,000. And ways to get creative with your loan officer or your taxes. Obviously reaching out to the loan officer, finding out if there's any programs on that first year of new construction. The taxes are going to be what the city assesses them to be for a first-time home buyer, based on the house, based on the size, based on the school rate. So, there's ways to get creative to save on some of those taxes on that first year, particularly.
Yeah. It's interesting because it's one thing you don't think about very often, right? Because we're talking about uncapping taxes, right?
Yep.
But this is new construction. So this is a whole different ballgame.
No doubt about it. And to Dave's point and to your point, how do you minimize as much as you can to make that payment more affordable, especially on that first year?
Yeah. Yeah. And again, you have to take that into consideration because, like you said, it's $1,000 a month.
Yeah.
That's your taxes. That's not even your house payment.
I know. It adds up, man.
Yeah, it adds up quick. And again, knowing what you know and your budgets and everything else, that's super important. That people need to know that. And between your realtor and your loan officer, they need to know that. So, but listen, guys, again, the EXP Regional Rally, March 19th. You're going to want to come see this guy on stage. Going to kill it. And
you're going to want to see us all, especially you moderating. You got some great names on there, like you mentioned.
Yeah, some great names. But come see Bernard, check him out, find out wherever he's at, and go from there. He's got some big news coming up in the next couple of weeks. But we'll check you guys out. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you guys next Friday on the Elite Real Estate Podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming in, brother.
Every day's a gamble, living off the hot stack, turning visions into mansions on prime estate. Success in our grasp because we choose our own fate. No pressure, no diamonds, gotta take the lead.